So, Usama, please tell what are regulating bodies in USA and Canada? What are their registration fees difference? What are their steps differences and English language requirements like that stuff?
Basically, the US body, it's called ECFVG, Educational Commission for Foreign Veterinary Graduates. It has four steps itself. First is registration. Second one is English language proficiency, which is IELTS or TOEFL. Third is BCSE, and after BCSE, you are eligible to take the NAVLE, which is separate than ECFVG, but of course, you are eligible to take NAVLE once you are done with BCSE. Then the fourth step of ECFVG itself is clinical proficiency exam. The cost of all these exam, everything, I will not divide things like in steps, but the total cost will be around 10,600 USDs, which in Pakistani currencies it will be around 33 lakh. And if we talk about it's like a total, like out of these 33 lakh, you will be spending 23 lakh once you are here in US or Canada and you are earning here, right? So you just have to worry about the first 10 lakh, which you have to spend until you pass your NAVLE, and if you pass everything in first attempt. Then the second thing is CVMA. The body for that one is National Examining Board, which is NEB. It has first step registration. Second is English language ability, which all of us, we studied DVM in English medium. Now they are accepting if we studied DVM or veterinary bachelor's or whatever you call in English medium, you can send them a letter from your university. They are accepting that letter now. Before that, they are accepting if you studied your school, especially from 7th to 10th grade, they are accepting that letter in past. But now they changed it recently, a couple of months ago. Now they are accepting English language proficiency letter from your university as well, which will save you almost $300, which is the cost of IELTS, right? And then the third step is BCSE, which is the same. Then after BCSE, you can take the NAVLE. Then the fourth step of this one is PSA, which is preliminary to surgical assessment, which is an extra step in the NEB, right? Mm, they make sure, okay, you have, it's a kind of a step. I will talk about that later on. Maybe I already talk about it in some videos, you can watch that. I will not be going into the details of everything. And then the last step will be the CPE, same. The total cost of this one will be 10,950 Canadian dollars, not the USDs. And in Pakistani currencies, it will be around 23 lakhs or 24 lakhs, which is 9 lakhs lesser than the American one, right? Then you can do it as well. Now, these days I'm recommending this because it will save you lots of money as compared to the ECFVG. And one more point, in future, if you want to move from Canada to US, you have to register with ECFVG. You can move all your steps to the ECFVG and you will be done. But for the IELTS part, some people ask me, okay, if we do NAVLE from the NEB and then we don't want to take the PSA and we want to go directly for the CPE, how we have to just transfer our scores and we can take the CPE from the ECFVG? No, it's not the case. You have to give IELTS in that scenario. You have to take IELTS, not give. You have to take IELTS, and once you take the IELTS and you got the required bands, then you will take the CPE. So with the ECFVG second step, you always have to do the IELTS, right? And it will be IELTS academic with the requirement I already mentioned many times. So that's how it's different, and that's how NEB is cheaper as compared to the ECFVG. The best thing, if you ask me, I can tell in this video, go for NEB these days. Visa process 99% easy for the Canada in the starting without CPE, or even with CPE, it's a lottery system for the US, but not for the Canada. For the Canada, you just have to secure a job and you will be here. So that's the whole thing. And that's what I think I already answered lots of questions of the people.
Yeah, thank you. You have covered all the points which I asked. So you are preferring Canada and EB instead of USA ECFVG.
Yeah, for the newly graduates which wants to move as a first step, and later on, once you are in Canada, you want to move to US later on, once you have finished your whole certification and everything, you can always move, of course.
So what do you think? Is it necessary to move to USA for more
No,
money, for more facilities, or you can
to
get
be honest,
everything in Canada?
Yeah, you can get everything here as well, to be honest.
Okay,
Some
so
people
there's
have,
no need to go
yeah,
through
there is very
extra
small
steps.
percentage of people who usually move, but yeah, people, I know lots of people who move to US after that. Of course, there will be like good, way more salaries, like not way more, but a little bit more salaries. But it depends on cost of living and area and all those things as well. So that's a kind of a total different thing. But even if you are in Canada, everything is good, to be honest.
So do you like Canada?
Yeah, I do, to be honest. I don't have any plan to move
Okay.
to US
Okay.
until.
So all the participants, we will share the website's link and all that stuff in email with you. We are not showing websites here to not bore you. More communication, more information.
Yeah.
I'm preferring this here. Okay. So if we again compare the cost of USA and Canada,
Mm-hmm.
so how we can save money for more money in Canada process? Again, if you can just summarize this thing.
It's in Canadian dollars and that is in US dollars, more money. And the registration cost for the first thing which you have to spend. For the NEB, it's just 500 Canadian dollars, which is almost 1 lakh Pakistani rupee or 1 lakh 10,000. For the ECFVG is 1400 US dollar, which will be almost 4 lakh Pakistani rupee. So 1 lakh and 4 lakh, 3 lakh difference in the first thing which you have to pay. And then other things, almost the same cost, not really big, but there is always difference. As I told you, almost 9 lakh difference in everything. But in the first thing itself, it's 3 lakh difference if we talk about in PKR.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Like if a person has to start and he has to invest first time, then for Canada, it like Canadian test, it is less investment in start and it makes your journey start. It's make this make your journey to start easily instead of
Yeah.
worry about big money. So is
Yeah.
there anything extra in Canada process like PSA
Yeah, it's
around
a just
1000
an
CAD?
extra exam. You don't have to worry about it. It's a pretty easy exam, and it's on a. You have to perform everything like a surgery in a sterile way possible. It's on a dummy. You have to, prepare that dummy like you are doing on a live dog. It's a proper. There is a manual for that. The way you have to do that. It's 1,000 Canadian dollar fee for that one, but still, after paying 1,000 Canadian dollar extra, it's still cheaper, right? And you have
Okay.
to give, it's having 3 layers. You have to cut through all these and then you have to suture it back. So that's how you will do it in PSA. They have their manuals and everything for that, so it's not a big deal.
Okay, so coming towards the documents which you need in Pakistan for appearing in NAVLE, like is DVM degree necessary for that, attestations, everything, which documents you were required?
For the ECFVG, documentation is pretty straightforward. I will talk about that one. For the ECFVG, your original degree, all the documents which you need are the photocopies: degree photocopy, transcript photocopy, and two photographs. And once you paid the fee, there will be a form of 2 pages. You just have to send these documents and that's it. You don't have to worry about anything else. You can get all these documents attested by public notary and you will send them through FedEx or whatever way you want to, right? This is for the ECFG, pretty straightforward. Then for the NEB, now they changed a lot of policies in recent couple of months. So I would say they accept provisional as well. If you don't have the degree yet, they will accept your provisional. But ECFG needs degree. That's it. And rest transcript. If you have PVMC or any license, you can send a copy of that one as well. And then yeah, your English language proficiency letter from university. Even university can email your documents from the official email address. They can email by putting your NEB ID and everything now. But for the ECFG, you have to send by mail everything. So that's same, two pictures as well, and photocopy of the passport they need as well for the NEB. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If I'm missing something, because they recently changed, to be honest, for the NEB, I will let you know whatever it is. And yeah, I'll put on
Y-
my maybe Instagram as well. You guys can
So,
see.
so is there any requirement of reference letters in NEB?
Yeah, it does have requirement. Basically, at my time, I provided them with one reference letter. But yeah, there is a requirement. If you are not sending them a letter of good standing from the PVMC, which you can send them later on, and you will need that ultimately. Some people think like they don't need it, but once you want to come here in Canada and you will be applying for the license with Alberta board, with Ontario, with whatever board you are, they will need letter of good standings, and at that time you need to get that letter from the PVMC by paying them 100 USDs, and they will give you that letter and which you have to send them. That is a must thing, not at the time of registration, which lots of people are asking, but at the end of the day, you need that letter. And you can get that letter later on once you pass NAVLE or once you pass BCSE, because that letter which PVMC will give you, it is valid only for like 6 months. So, which is, 150 USDs and all that.
So that reference letter we have to like in scholarships we write a letter and we send and just get a signature, or it is something else.
It's basically almost the same thing. You have
Okay.
to get that signed, and you have to get that letter in an envelope, and envelope should be sealed with the stamps of that veterinarian who is writing for you, and that's how you will send the letter to them along with
So
your.
so only PVMC will send on our behalf, or our professors or our
Yeah,
mentors
yeah,
can
your
do.
professor, as they are your professors, your teachers, they can send. And even if you are not sending your documents by mail, they can email your documents from their official email address of the university. They can email that reference letter directly to the NEB stating your name and your NEB ID. They can do that as well.
Yeah, for NEB, but for ECFVG you are mentioning we have to send physically those photocopies.
Yeah, those documents, there is no need of reference letter, only transcript and degree
Yeah,
and
yeah,
two
yeah.
pages of the form. That's it, nothing else.
In physical mail form.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we will talk more about what is BCSE, what is this? How many
Uh,
questions, what is phenomena, everything.
So BCSE is the first exam which we'll be taking. It has 225 questions, and it has 9 domains, which is mentioned on the websites. I already made a website for you guys to make the things easy as well. I will share the link of that one as well. You can see, okay, what will be the domains and from where we have to prepare. So for the preparation of that one, I will mix here. I always recommend Zuku, and the notes which I used, I put that on the website as well. You can download directly from there, and you are good to go. That's what I did, to be honest. If someone needs more or anything, you can do more, whatever you want to, but that's what I did. And lots of people, like 99% people I know who did this, and they are good to go after me, especially. Yeah, not before me, I don't know much.
Okay. Sometimes your voice become interrupted, but it's okay. We can understand the story. So my question is, okay, just tell the name of your website, please.
It's Snavely for Pakistanis, especially if you can find it. You can go
Okay.
on Instagram, and if in search you write Osama Azam, OSAMAAZAM 71, you will go on my profile, and there is a link in my profile. You will click on that link, and you will go directly to my website, and from there you can download. And I think I updated that website almost 6 months ago, and until now more than 1,100 people already downloaded the files from there, which I can always see. So you can do that.
That's interesting. Okay, so please tell more about this exam. In which city this exam is held, and how many times a year we can give it, and what kind of what tips you have for for a person who is going to give this exam very soon, like upcoming days.
Perfect. So for the BCSE, you can take it in 3 cities in Pakistan. Where basically you can take it anywhere, wherever there is a Prometric center. You can take in Lahore, you can take it in Islamabad and Karachi. I don't know if there is any more Prometric center now, but at that time there was only 3 when I did it 3 years, 2 years ago. And then the basically you have to prepare from these things which I already told you, and that will pretty much cover all the aspect of this exam. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want me to tell something else, I can tell you that one as well, but you can ask me.
Yeah, we can answer those questions which are more specific about from those participants who are preparing it, they can ask more better questions than me. So
Yeah,
yeah, I want to ask again, in which center you appeared?
I did both BCSE and NAVLE in Lahore, Prometric Center, which
Okay,
is in college. So I did both of my exams over there.
sounds good. Okay, so move next. Um, if you could just highlight some outline of BCS exam, like which subjects are important and like something about them.
Yeah, basically it has 9 domains, which is written on the website as well, which is internal medicine, physiology, pharmacology, clinical pathology, diagnostic imaging. Then there are some things from the nutritional aspect as well. It's not basically that nutrition which we studied in DVM, so you don't have to worry about that. Then there are some epidemiology, public health related things, public health anatomy related things as well. So a total of 9 domains. I can't answer like each and every, but these are
Yeah,
like 9 domains. I wrote these things in detail, like one by one on the website. If you go on the website, there is a BCSE section. You can click on it. You will know, okay, these are the domains. That's how the exam works, and like almost everything.
I understand. So
Perfect.
the point is if someone is doing internships on dairy farms, on poultry farms, or even on pet clinics, those are not directly helpful in BCS exam, I guess.
Yeah, basically for these exams, if you want to be a good doctor or whatever it is, it's my theory. You have to have good theoretical knowledge. So these exams are like almost all about the theoretical knowledge, and for that one you have to study, and that will help. Because if you are working in a dairy farm or in a poultry farm, you are just focusing on the poultry diseases, dairy diseases, whatever the routine cases you see on the farms in Pakistan. Maybe those are not the things happening here in US or Canada. So basically we have to study all the diseases for all the species, I would say.
Okay, so just want to clear, in NAVLE or in BCSE, we have to deal with all the species, including
Yeah,
pig and including
yeah,
uh, all those which we see.
yeah. Major portion will be from 4 species. It's more about the NAVLE, not about the BCSE, but the concept is the same. Whatever you said, it's right.
So,
Sure.
which four species? Cattle, pork, dog, cat, and
So basically, dog, cat, equine, and bovine. Only these four will cover your NAVLE. 78% almost of your exam in the NAVLE will be from these 4 species.
yeah. So the best approach for a veterinary student will be if we go for an equine internship after fourth semester or after sixth semester, and if we do one internship on dairy farm, so and one pet on pet clinic, it will be more helpful in him in relating the things how
Yeah,
these are
uh,
going on.
my point of view is that won't help much. If you want to
Okay.
work in a certain area, you should just focus on that one. If you want to be a large animal veterinarian, you should focus on that. If you want to be a mixed animal veterinarian, then okay, you can do all. If you want to be a small animal, I would say focus on that one. But all other things you should know theoretically. It's a part of the exam. Even in the CPE, you should know the basics and all that stuff. Like you should be very sound theoretically for these exams. So theoretical knowledge is way important as compared to doing some internships in Pakistan on some dairy farms and all that.
Okay, one question is coming in my mind, but I will ask at end of this part, like what is the scope of large animal and small animal in Canada, and why Pakistanis are doing mostly small animal, working on small animal side instead of large. I will ask at end now, not here. Okay,
Sure.
so moving to the preparation material. So for BCSE exam, we need Zuku, as you mentioned. So, is there any Zuku Premium or Zuku Standard or something like that?
Yeah, there is Zuku standard premium and all that. Basically, I always preferred premium. I always bought premium. The reason for that is in the premium, if you attempt anything wrong, you will get it again until you attempt it correct. Like there will be a repeat of questions, which are really helpful in my point of view, because it will develop your visual memory as well, and also of course your overall memory as well. But visually, okay, if you are doing something wrong again and again, you will know that thing, okay, more like as a visual memory. So I always recommend premium, but it's up to the people. They can get it done with the standard as well, but I felt comfortable with premium, and that's why I bought premium. But you can get standard or premium, whatever you guys want to save money. That's totally fine. I don't, I would not say that why premium, why standard, but that's my reason why I bought premium.
Okay, so um, after preparation from Zuku, so you are ready to appear in BCS exam.
Yeah,
So here your BCS exam is done. You have passed it.
yeah,
So now we have to move towards NAVLE.
yeah.
Okay, so here the question come NAVLE. What is NAVLE? Before it was what is BCSE, which is ignored when we guide someone to go for NAVLE. We don't
Yeah.
tell him first to go for BCSE. We say go for NAVLE. So NAVLE starts from here. BCSE. Okay, one more question. Is BCSE is helpful in another forms also if someone unable to do NAVLE, or that BCSE is alone is not helpful for any purpose?
No, basically BCSE won't help you. You have to get the NAVLE done. NAVLE is basically the main license. There are some states which will issue you a kind of a restricted license, but that is, under direct supervision, which immediate supervision, but that will not be helpful. And it's for just certain period of time. No one will hire you from Canada on that, only on the BCSE. So you have to get the NAVLE done, and then at that point you will get the job directly.
Okay. So now we will talk about NAVLE. So my question is, in Pakistan, um, every month there is an exam, or there's
Uh,
certain
for
periods?
Yeah, for the BCSE, you can attempt anytime, whenever you want to, whenever there is availability in the Prometric Center. There are no certain windows for that one. Um, but for the but once if you failed BCSE once, you have to wait 120 days for the second attempt. You cannot do it like next month. You have to wait 120 days, which is 4 months, if you failed BCSE once. Talking about the NAVLE, you can take it twice a year. There are two windows, fall and the spring one. For the if you want to take in the fall window, the deadline for that one is 1st of August. You have to register yourself, paying the fee and all that in the last week of July at the maximum. Then you can take from 1st of November until 15th of December. This is a window. Anywhere you get a date from the Prometric, go for that one. Then for the next is spring window, you have to register before 1st of February. So always you can always register maximum by the end of last week of January. So then you are eligible to take it in April. April window is pretty small, which is almost 2 weeks, starting from almost April 10 or 12 until April of 21 or 23. So it's pretty small bracket for the NAVLE. So these are the two, these are the two times where you can take the NAVLE.
Honestly speaking, I am wondering how you can remember all these dates. It feels like you have opened any presentation in front of you.
I know the dates because like lots of people are asking me things. So I
Yeah.
still have these things from the time when I took it. The Windows time at that time was pretty long because of the long period of because of COVID. There is a long, less availability in the Prometric Center due to certain precautionary things. So, but yeah, still I remember okay what it will be. Yeah, it's a kind of a routine thing for me. That's why.
Hmm. Okay. So, what is better choice? In which window we can go for exam with less?
Whenever you are ready, to be honest, if you have enough time for the fall, go for fall. If you have enough time for the April one, go for that one. There is no any harm in doing the fall or in doing the spring one. Pretty much everything is same.
So, how we check ourselves like we are ready for BCSC, then we are ready for NAVLE? What is that standard? Like
The
for IELTS,
criteria one,
for IELTS we go for practice test and we see we are getting 7.5, then we can get 7 or 6.5. So, what is for NAVLE and BCSC?
yeah, for the NAVLE, there is no scenario as such before you pay the fee, because you have to pay the fee at least 4 months before your exam. So you have to pay the fee. If you think, okay, there is enough time, 4 to 6 months, which I believe is enough for the NAVLE preparation. If you have that time, register yourself and you can get the things done, to be honest. That's the criteria for the NAVLE. For the BCSE, there is no practice test which I ever saw. So once you finish Zuku, you know that, okay, I know everything which is in the Zuku. You are good to go, to be honest. But for the NAVLE, I would not say that you are good to go once you finish Zuku or VetPrep, because in the exam NAVLE is pretty different as compared to the Zuku or the VetPrep questions. But there are certain questions like ICVA mock tests which you can take. The cost for that one, $50 to $70, you can pay and you can judge yourself. I did that 2 weeks before my exam, and I barely passed on that test, and which made me feel anxious, and I gave my 100% for the next 2 weeks, especially for the equines, bovine, canine, and feline. And then, yeah, alhamdulillah, I passed in the real exam. But that's how you can check yourself, but I wouldn't say it's a, a standard criteria or something, but you can check yourself for the NAVLE. Once you feel like, okay, I finished the whole Zuku or VetPrep subscriptions and I want to check myself, you can always check yourself 3-4 weeks before exam whenever you feel like.
Okay, so now we want to break down the registration steps for booking NAVLE. How it looks.
It's pretty simple. For the BCSE, you can book directly from the portal. For the NEB, if you are taking with the NEB, your NEB portal, there will be column where you can book your NAVLE straight away. Put your information and that's it. If you are doing with ECFVG, you have to go to ICVA website. Then there is there will be a bar over there, register for NAVLE. Go on that one, fill your application, pay them fee, and that's it. You are registered for NAVLE. And then they will send you the Prometric center link on which there is a confirmation number and all that. And then you have to open that link, you have to put your confirmation number, and see whenever there is availability in the Prometric center. Book that date. It works for both BCSE and NAVLE same way. So you have to go to that link, check for the availability in the Prometric center in Lahore or Islamabad, and book that one. Sometimes there are not seats available, so you can just keep checking again and again and again. There will be a seat, and maybe not showing now. After 15 minutes, there is a seat. You can book that. So that's how you will book always.
So is there any chance if we book and we want to forward our test date, is there any chance like with
Yeah,
minimal
you can
detection?
schedule your NAVLE dates, but for the BCSE, if it's less than 60 days now, you have to pay almost, I think, $50 fee for booking again. So if you want to reschedule your BCSE and it's less than 60 days from your original date which you booked, you have to pay the Prometric fees, which is $50 USDs again to reschedule your date. But for the NAVLE, you can manipulate with the date. That's okay. You can change your dates.
So it means it is very easy to just set the process more better for you where you feel more comfortable.
Yeah, for the BCSE, but for the NAVLE, there is a limit. From 1st of November until 15th of December, you have to get it done. So you have to do,
Oh,
you cannot pass that window. So yeah.
okay, got it. Sounds good. Okay, so if I am a person who is more interested in dairy cows and beef cows, I am not interested in equines. So can I
Perfect.
pass Navali or I am not fit for it?
To be honest, you will, because you have to study for everything. Let's see, if I'm interested in only maybe fish, even then I can pass the NAVLE, because for the NAVLE we have to study everything. It's a kind of a theoretical exam covering all the species. As we talk about, okay, your 50% exam will be from the dogs and cats, your next 28% exam from the equine and bovine, so your 78% is from these four species. Rest is all other species, right? So that's how your exam will be. So maybe 3-4% from the swines, 1% from small ruminants, 1 or 2% from the exotics, 1% from camel, so something like that. It will make like 100%.
Yeah, you have summarized very well and accurately. So what do you think? How many percent is necessary to clear the exam?
It works on reference criterion method. It's little different. I cannot tell, okay, if you pass this much exam, you will pass it. But for the NAVLE, this one question maybe have 5 marks, other one has like 20 marks, one question has like 1 mark. So I cannot really tell. But the overall criteria is total marks are 80, and you have to get 425. I don't know 425 means 70% or 60% or 50%. It depends on the questions and the weightage which you attempted right way. So that's how you will, know. You cannot know until you see the results, so you pass it or not, to be honest. So it all depends. There is a reference criterion method. I don't know, it's something related to stat or something like that. So they calculate your scores according to that one. But and they have like 360 questions in the NAVLE. Out of those 360, 300 questions are marked. 60 questions, there is no mark for that one, and no one knows which those 60 questions are, right? So 300 questions will be marked. So let's say 300 questions means if you attempt all right, it will be 800 marks, right? And you need 425. I'm not sure if we attempt 60%, it will make 425, or because every question has different weightage. Some question 5 marks, some question 1 mark, so something like that. I'm not sure how does it work, but that's how it is.
Okay, so if you want to relate NAVLE exam with our any DVM subject exam, with which you can relate it?
No one, to be honest, Neville is pretty difficult. For the BCSE, I can say there can be some questions which, what is the drug of choice for giardia? What is, what is the name of the forceps which we use to clamp ovarian pedicle? Maybe some people will say teach like clamp or something, but there is a proper name for that one. And which suture pattern is everted pattern, which is inverted pattern, dental formula, like pretty basic things, right? So these can, okay, some of the questions will be covered from the DVM, but for the NAVLE it's a little different, to be honest. And maybe there will be things in the NAVLE as well. I got question like a case of actinobacillosis, which is wooden tongue, a case of actinomycosis, which is lumpy jaw, which I studied in my DVM like many times. And I think I got some cases of um, like rheumatoidosis as well. In equine, I got the case of colic. Now I have to tell it's a spasmodic one or which one it is according to exam. But these things we studied in our DVM as well. So there will be certain things.
Yeah, I still remember there was question in our clinical medicine exam. There was three options, like three confused. It may be actinomycosis, actinobacillosis, and one more thing is maybe FM. Any other disease which is similar to this, like
Yeah, maybe
this is famous question.
vasculitis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Vasu, what is
vascular
called
trauma.
this?
Yeah,
Yeah, I have forgotten these things now. I
that's
know more about genetics and blood things.
yeah.
Okay. So now come to NAVLE preparation. You have talked about BCSC and you have talked about the app or the website which is helpful for for BCSC preparation. Now
Yeah.
comes to NAVLE preparation and resources.
For the NAVLE preparation, I cannot say if you finished 100% Zuku or 100% wet prep, you will get it done, because the actual questions in the exam, they are very lengthy. The one you are doing in wet prep or Zuku, they are pretty short, right? So there will be a kind of a time management thing. I missed in first block, I missed like 4 or 5 questions. There will be 6 blocks, each block 60 questions, right? And you have 65 minutes for each block. So I missed 4 or 5 questions. I couldn't even attempt in first block. And I was like, I prepared really well, but I don't know. I took a break after that for 10 minutes. I was wondering what should I do, because if I keep doing this way, I will not be able to pass it. So, but then I somehow figured it. But I would say I still missed almost 8 to 10 questions, which I couldn't attempt. So that was the major concern for me at that time. So you should know about, you will be having the knowledge. The questions in the NAVLE, it will be kind of tricky. They will give you like 10 to 15 line statement, and maybe they will ask, so that's how something it works, to be honest. The knowledge and things which will be the same. For example, if we talk about some things like equines, bovine, canine, flying, like diseases will be the same. So they cannot ask you something, from the space or anything like that. At the end of the day, knowledge is same. The way I told you, actinobacillosis, mycosis, of course, I didn't got these questions in the exam straight away. Maybe I got one of them, like not all, but in exam, the diseases are the same. What else they can ask you from the large animal? They can ask you from any bacterial diseases, viral diseases, then contagious diseases, whatever the diseases are of the cattle. There is a list of the diagnosis as well, which is on the ICVA website. There is a list of all the diseases. If anyone is interested, they are welcome to finish those diseases. I didn't study them from any textbook. So, but at the end of the day, diseases are the same. They can ask you anything: actinomycosis, bacillosis, leptospira, anything, whatever they want to. But they will ask you in a kind of a case scenario. Animal is presented, like a real time case will be in the exam. So that's how the questions will be. And if you see on the ICVA website, which they gave as a sample, it's the pretty much the same thing which I'm telling you. Basically, I'm telling you everything which is on the ICVA website. Like, you will see on the Zuku website as well. If you see the Zuku website, VetPrep website, they have certain sample questions. You will get almost pretty much the same type of questions. Like, diseases are the same and the type of questions will be the same, but in exam sometimes some statements are really long. There will be some long statements in VetPrep and Zuku as well for the NAVLE subscription, but sometimes I felt like for me it was a bit long as compared to the subscriptions. So that's what I felt at that time. But at the end of the day, exams are from the same, all the diseases and whatever they give you a list of.
Okay, sounds good. So you have mentioned your own website as well as other websites like Zuku, VetPrep, and IVC, ICV, anything like
Yeah,
that?
ICVA, which is international, what is called? I forgot it now, but it's ICVA website. Basically, what I wrote
ICV.
on my website is everything from that website, and I give
Yeah,
and links of those website as well.
yeah,
If you go on my website, you will click the link, you will go onto the ECFVG website, you will click the link, you will go to the ICVA website. So I put all the links of those things from where you will go straight to that point. So all the links
yeah.
are over.
Exactly. That was I want to listen from you to tell participants like everything is present on Dr. Osama website. You can go there and you can read more about them. Here we are just listening Osama's experience with all that stuff. So Osama, last question about NAVLE. When you were in exam room for 7 hours like that stuff, how was your experience?
Yeah, to be honest, it was almost 7.5 hour, and with 45 minutes break, it's six blocks. You can take break like 10 minutes after each block, so you can utilize your 45 minutes. That's what I did. But to be honest, it was exhausting, especially after like five blocks. I felt like, okay, I just have to finish it, no matter what will be the outcome. If I pass or fail, I don't know, but I have to get it done. It was a kind of, you will feel overwhelmed because you are in the center from the past more than 5 hours, and you are constantly looking on the screen. And that was a little bit, a kind of overwhelming situation when you are in exam. But that's, I feel like it's the situation of all the candidates who took the exam. And yeah, at the end of the day, you worked really hard for it and you have to get it done, so it won't be an issue, I would say, at the end of the day, once you spent lots of money and lots of hard work and everything.
Yeah. So my question is, when you were in naval exam for 7 hours or 7.5 hours, so the paper was a hard copy paper, or the question was on screen and you have to just give answer on your paper?
Everything on screen. You have to do everything on the computer. They will give you a blank paper with a pencil if you want to do any calculation, or if you want to do anything during the exam, you can. I never wrote anything. I never used the paper or the pencil at all. Yeah, of course, there will be a screen. You have the mouse and keyboard. You will be clicking tick 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 A B C or D whatsoever you think like, and you will be putting that one.
Sorry, just want to make clear. Do you like a laptop? You have a laptop on which paper is coming, or how?
Yeah, it's basically when you go into the Prometric centers, it's the same center where you take GRE, where you take USMLE, you will take NAVLE. It's the same center. There will be
Okay.
desktops. It can be laptops, I'm not sure, but at that time it was desktops, and you will be doing all the exams on the computer for the next 7.5 hour, including 45 minutes of the break.
And all are MCQs or some short answers.
Basically, no short answer. Some are match the column, so you just have to take one match to the other, take one match to the other. Some are just single clicks. You just have to click on that thing, whatever they are asking you. Some can be the match the column. So it's basically the rotate. It will be multiple choice questions. So it will not be any subjective type. It's all objective, which they mentioned on the website as well that this exam will be objective. So that's what you will be doing.
Yeah, there is some funny question like तुक्का चलता है or everything is concept based.
यार मुझे नहीं पता तुक्का क्या है और कॉन्सेप्ट बेस्ड क्या है। एट द एंड ऑफ द डे जो आपने पढ़ना है थ्योरी में अगर आपको आता है तो वही आप आंसर लगाओगे। मुझे पता नहीं तुक्का 300 सवालों में तुक्के नहीं चलते यार, एक आधा शायद सही हो जाए लेकिन स्टिल यू
Hmm.
हैव राइट।
So it is concept based other than cramming.
It's not about like concept. Well, there can be concept in some things, but of course, interpreting a blood report or something, you should know, okay, what does this mean? What does that mean? Like everything. But at the end of the day, theoretical knowledge, if you know the disease, you can answer, right? So you have to study for that one. You have to have that thing in your mind. So that's how it will be. I don't know if it's a
Okay.
concept or a rata or whatsoever it is. It
Yeah.
is what, yeah.
Okay. So any suggestion you want to give to people who are preparing BSc and who are preparing NAVLE nowadays?
Yeah, for
Then
the
we will move
BCSE, I would
towards
say,
questions.
yeah, for the BCSE, I would say if you started the preparation, go for Zuku and you can do the notes, which I did, which I put on the website. You can download that, start reading that one, do the Zuku. That's more than enough. What I thought, that's what I did. For the NAVLE as well, I had like 2 or 3 notes which I did. I put that on website as well. You can get that. You can download them. You can do that, and you can. Meanwhile, what else you can do is you can do your wet prep or Zuku subscription for the NAVLE, whatever you prefer. There is no preference for me. No preference at all. Both are the same. People pass the exam who are using wet prep. People already passed the exam who used Zuku. So there is no difference. Both are helpful, so there is no any logic for the BCSE. Only Zuku is available, but for the NAVLE, Zuku and VetPrep both are available. You can buy whatever you want. That's totally up to you. And the only thing what I said earlier as well, for the NAVLE, focus on the time management more, because in the exam you will be having anxiety and all that stuff, which will result like if you're stuck on one question, don't think much about it. Like do it as soon as possible. Like, of course, the logical answer, but always consider time. Time will go really fast in NAVLE. For the BCSE, no worries about the time. Like if we talk about my experience, I did the exam almost 1 hour earlier. Then I revised the exam of the BCSE whole, and still I had almost 25 minutes, and I left the center 25 minutes before my time for the BCSE. But it was not the case in the NAVLE. NAVLE, I missed 10 questions. So that's the overall thing, my advice as well.
Okay, and the result comes after how many days?
For the NAVLE, for the BCSE, it will come within 20 business days. My result, I took it on 15th of September. I got result on 18th of September. Like after 3 days. Some people got the result after 10 days, 15 days. So 20 days, I would say, within. For the NAVLE, if you took in the I would say in fall window, which is that November, December, you will get the result by the mid of January or 15, 20, 21, like somewhere here, like after second, like in third week of January, most probably you will get your results. Same goes for the April. You will get the results in May, second week, third week of May. So that's how you will get the results at these
So
times.
within 1 and 2 months.
Yeah, almost. It depends because sometimes people took like but at the end of the day, for example, someone took the exam on 15th of December and everyone got the result on 15th of January. For him, it was 1 month. But the one who took the exam on 1st of November, for him or her, it's more than 2.5 months. So it depends. For
Okay,
the
so is there any rechecking option if you are confused or there's no?
to be honest, they already mentioned that we checked it twice, so there is no point. I
Okay.
never saw someone who got, who went for recheck and got the marks increased.
Okay, so do you know any institute in Pakistan who helps student in preparation of NAVLE and BCSE
No,
online as well as physical?
Basically, there is no institution. I started that one, still doing somehow a little bit of that one. If someone has any questions, feel free to ask me. But at the end of the day, I can tell you whatever you need, and you have to study. No one can study for you. If you have some misconception or anything like that, we can always do that. But at the end of the day, it's more about your hard work, your reading. As you know, okay, this will be the syllabus of the NAVLE. We have a list. We have to do that, and that's how we will do it. There are certain subscriptions for that one, and you have to go for that one. There is no any academy or something like that.
So do you teach, like, do you help people in naval preparation as a class or not as a
Yeah,
class?
I started crash course type of thing, which is covering the basics of oncology, ophthalmology, neurology, anesthesiology, surgery, dentistry, musculoskeletal system, and all those areas which we really don't study in our DVMs and all that. Until now, almost 33 people uh, joined that class. I
Interesting.
charged, yeah. So for the charges of that one, I charged, to be honest, 250 per candidate, maybe more, like
250 Canadian.
200 to USDs, 200 or 250. Back at that time, it was less money. Now it's almost 75,000 Pakistani rupees. The last I did few weeks ago, I would say, but now I'm not doing it on regular basis. If someone wants to, always welcome, no problem at all.
So where they can reach you?
On Instagram, always I'm available. OSAMAAZAM71. You can reach out to me over there. No problem. If you like, of course, I will not be saying, okay, you have to take this session, then you will pass. 33 people took the session until now. It counts almost 8 to 9 people from India and 24-25 people from Pakistan, right? Until now. And yeah, Alhamdulillah, all of them passed BCSE in first attempt. Navally, I don't know, but BCSE they did. BCS is pretty, it's not that difficult. You just have to have a proper direction, which I already put everything in the videos. And if you want to talk to me, I can talk to you and I will tell you the same things. And that's how it works. It's the same thing which they mentioned on their websites as well. But sometimes people feel more comfortable if they ask someone who already experienced that one. I can tell you the same things again. That's totally fine. Lots of people are asking me the same things on daily basis. I reply all of them on Instagram, so you can reach out to me on Instagram anytime.
Okay. So my last question is how we can get job in Canada after NAVLE? What you did?
I applied and I got the job. To be honest, that was pretty straightforward for me. Now, what I did, okay, there are certain recruiters. You don't have to pay them anything. They took the payment from the clinics for which they hired the people. Now I have really good connections with one of the consulting firms through which I got the job. Basically, their role is okay. There are some practices which are in contact with them, and they have to provide your CV to them. Then practice see, okay, if on the basis of CV, do we have to interview this guy or a girl? Then they scheduled an interview, and they will tell you, okay, now we will be moving forward with the second interview, and that's how they usually do it. um, Basically, almost through the same recruiting firm, 12 people already secured the job. Out of those 12 people, visa for 5 people already applied in last 4 to 5 months, and soon you will see a bunch of people, like 4 or 5 people, coming together to Canada by the end of this year. And yeah, things are
Inshallah.
pretty. And uh if you go through, I don't know, there are certain questions coming as well, but I will
Okay,
not.
I will.
But
So
yeah, that's how it works. And you don't have to pay anything for the whole process. Your employer will do everything for you. You don't have to spend a single penny. Of course, you have to go and do the medicals, which will cost you 40,000 or these days Pakistani rupees. But once you go to Canada, your employer will refund you. Like, my employer gave me almost 6,000 Canadian dollars because I spent, okay, on the airfares. I spent on medicals for me and my wife as well. We spent on certain other things as well, but yeah, they gave me almost like 5 to 6 thousand Canadian dollars. Like they will reimburse you whatever the cost of traveling and visa and everything will be, but the visa and everything they will apply. You just have to provide them whatever they are asking, the documentation, and that's it. You don't have to hire an agent or something like that. You don't have to do the process on your own. No, you just have to follow their guidelines. Whatever they are doing, they know everything.
So you are starting, you are talking about visa. That's why I'm going to ask question. Otherwise, I was thinking to ask in question answer session. So I
Yeah,
want to ask, like for our visa, even we are getting scholarship from Canadian professors, still we have to show bank statement. Still we have to write a statement of purpose where we have to say we will come back to Pakistan after our
yeah.
studies. So what is your situation in like after uh, clearing NAVLE, you get a job on a clinic, then you need to show bank statement or not?
I didn't show anything at all, to be honest. I just sent them my educational documents. That's and some other documents like family registration certificate, my marriage certificate, my passport, and all those stuffs. But sometimes they will ask you for the bank statement. But even if it's like 50,000 Pakistani rupees, it's more than enough. It's not something,
Wow.
It's just about, okay, there is something going on with this guy. It's not about, you will be judged on the basis of that one, because on the study visa it's different. For the employment visa, it's from the employer, and you will be getting 100K a year. So
Yeah.
they know you will be earning a lot. It's not something you will come and hide and you will not study or something like that. So it's a bit different from
Yeah.
that. You don't have
Yeah.
to, and like, and you don't have to show them like lots of proofs and writing statement of purposes and all that.
Yeah. So in study visa, we show home ties, like we will come back to Pakistan after certain period. So in your case, do you show?
No, no, nothing at all. Nothing at all. I didn't show anything. I didn't write any statement of purpose or anything like that. I didn't show any property evaluations or anything like that. I just gave them my educational documents, proof of my registration with the ECFVG, NEB, my exam results, my family registration certificate. Then, that immigration forms on which you have to write your brother, mother, father, everyone's detail. You just have to fill those forms, which is pretty much the same for the student visa as well. Other than that, yeah, there is nothing, no any document like that on which I was showing home ties or anything like that. Nothing at all.
So this mean the visa is very simple
Yeah,
application.
yeah, yeah,
That's great. So I can say like there are big hurdles for study visa, and if you do NAVLE in 2 to 3 years by spending 10 to 12 lakh, that's still very much better for you from all the perspectives,
yeah.
whether visa, whether income, whether lifestyle, everything. So
Exactly.
thank you, Dr. Sama, for this all discussion about Navli. Now we will move towards question answers, and I will request all the participants who have any question, please raise your hand virtually through Zoom setting. You can go to reactions where there is an option of raising hand, and I will call your name, so you will open your mic and then you can ask question. So Usama will give the answer. And in a case if you are unable to ask question by opening mic, you can just comment, but must mention ask on my behalf, then I will ask that question. Otherwise there are a lot of questions which I'm not able to ask all of them. Okay, so just give me a second. Usama, you can take a break for water for anything like 30 to 1
Perfect.
minutes.
No
Okay,
problem. Yeah.
sounds good.